IGT, baby.
What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So we gotta talk about what happened on night one of WrestleMania, and pardon my voice because I definitely had lost it, throughout the show and all that stuff. But it's some things we got to unpack, especially that main event matchup. But we're gonna go through each match. I'll get some key points on there and all that too, how I feel about it, and we'll do that for the rest of what happened on WrestleMania night one. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we had the first match to kick off WrestleMania. That was the 6-man tag team match. Oh, before I get into that, we also had John Cena, who was hosting WrestleMania as well. Kept it very brief and all, and as I expect, I didn't really expect that much for him to do on the show, but he was here. It was good to see him once again because we haven't seen him since Gunther retired him at Saturday Night Main Event last year. So it was good to see. Good way to kick off the show and all that stuff. And we had a 6-man tag team match to kick off with Division and Acho Speed taking on the Usos and LA Knight. Now in this match, credit to Speed, he definitely showcased some of his in-ring work in the ring, and you can tell he definitely took some time and got some reps in and all that between taking the bumps. He even hit LA Knight with a suplex, even if LA Knight didn't sell it. It was good to see that right there, even to the point where he hit a Hurricane and stuff like that to Jimmy Uso. So you've seen a lot of skills coming from Speed and all that, and of course you had some reps between Austin Theory and Logan Paul as well, and then the Usos and LA Knight, they were going to get their advantage as well. So match was very solid and towards the climax of it, you see Acho Speed, he's going to pretty much attack, I believe it was LA Knight, but end up pushing Logan Paul onto the announce table. And as it's happening, you see Speed pushes LA Knight into Logan Paul, and he hit the announce table. So Theory came in, went on attack on LA Knight, but also was yelling at Speed to tell him yo, what are you doing? You just pushed Logan Paul and all that, and tell him to get up. And as they attacking LA Knight, he told Speed to go for the punch. So Speed misses and hits Theory by accident. As a result, LA Knight was able to take advantage of it, hit the BFT on Austin Theory, covers him for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and the Usos, and LA Knight gets the win. So afterwards, you see Logan Paul brings Speed out of the ring, yelling at him and saying that you caused us this match. No, he was in the ring, and he was pissed off, telling Speed you caused us this match and all that. This is on you and all that. You blew it for us. Hit Speed with a right hand, drags him out of the ring, and it looked like he's about to put him on the announce table to put him through the table and shit. So you see the Usos and at night they see that shit, takes advantage of it, try to pack up Logan Paul, and instead of Speed going through the table, they try to put Logan Paul onto the table and got Speed up and told him to get up there and give Logan Paul the splash. So he gets up there, and credit to Speed because he actually executed this splash perfectly on Logan Paul. He went up there, he goes to say, paying homage to Cristiano Ronaldo, because that's one of his favorite athletes all the time, and goes up to a crazy splash on the Logan Paul. Fucking announce table gets destroyed and shit like that. So as much as I didn't really want to see him in this matchup right here, he did deliver. So I want to give my respect to Speed and what he did, man. That man is a freak of nature and definitely deserve his flowers, for what he do and all that. But it was a solid match to kick off the show. Then we get the crash out match that we was all looking for: Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. And another interest for Drew McIntyre. With Jacob Fatu. They had the Samoan dancers out there and stuff. with the flaming sticks and all that, swinging it around, and Jacob and his movement and start tweaking out and shit. It was dope to see, So I thought that was dope. And then you see LA Knight. LA Knight. What the fuck? Drew McIntyre makes his entrance as well. So once it was done, once Drew almost got in, almost about to get into the ring, I know what Jacob wastes no time, hits him with a suicide dive onto him. And this is when the carnage was about to begin. And the bell already won because it was a no-holds-barred match. So it was a lot of comments around, to the point where they was bringing out tables, they was bringing out chairs, all that stuff. They kept Jacob trying to get the toolbox. It looked like he was hesitating he about to hit Drew McIntyre because Drew was about to do a sneak attack. But once Jacob turns around and about to hit him, you see Drew kind of backed away a bit, like, oh shit. So we knew that was going to play a focal point into this matchup. So in the midst of that, we seen the wrench where Drew used that and was literally grinding it on Jacob Fatu's forehead and all that, even hitting him with it multiple times. So and then I thought we was going to get some color after that, but we haven't gotten any, which was shocking because I feel like 4 weeks of them crashing out and shit, I was expecting some blood to be shed, whether it's from Drew or from Jacob or even both of them. So we didn't get that, but I said it is what it is. You still had some carnage moments there too, even to the point where Drew McIntyre grabbing somebody's cell phone right there, recording himself beating up Jacob Fatu and all that, doing the same thing he did last year when they had a street fight with Damian Priest, when he said I'm bored at work, and he took a selfie, after packing up Damian Priest and all that stuff. So it was good to see him, bring that up again in the same exact building. So in the midst of that, I'll get towards the end of it because it was a whole lot of back and forth between the two. You see Jacob Fatu also been trying to hit the moonsault right there, but got counted on a lot. Even with with Drew McIntyre trying to hit the Claymore kick, he missed on some of them, but also was capitalized on one when Jacob was about to gain momentum. So towards the climax of the match, you see Drew McIntyre, after him putting Jacob Fatu through the table on the outside of the ring, he goes in there looking to pretty much do the same, to Jacob and put him through the table inside of the ring. But Jacob was able to take advantage of that. Hits Drew McIntyre with the toolbox, successfully hit it. And after that, you see Jacob putting Drew onto the table and all, go up there, hits the moonsault on the table, covers him for the 1, the 2, and the 3, and he wins the match as I expected. I felt like in this case for Jacob Fatu, he needed this win right here, especially gaining momentum, to potentially go after a title and all that. He needed this win, and albeit for Drew McIntyre, I think this don't hurt him as well. They could still continue this feud into Backlash. They can still do that. So we'll see how things turns out, but it was a very dope match, following up from the 6-man tag team match. So I'm like, okay, things is looking pretty good and all that. So I'm love with the direction they're going. So next we get the women's fatal 4-way tag team match for the titles, of Lyra Valkyria and Bayley taking on Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, the irresistible forces of Lash Legend and Nia Jax, and of course the Bella Twins. But Nikki Bella had a walking boot on, so she was probably not cleared to compete. So after everybody did their entrance and all, the Bellas comes out there and she Nikki with the walking boot, but she has a mic on. She said, I won't be able to medically compete in this matchup, but I have an old friend that is looking to replace me, and it was no other than the returning Paige. And that shocked a lot of people too, including me, because I heard about her signing a multi-year deal with WWE. I thought it was going to come at the expense of AJ Lee and, her retaining the title, which we'll get into later on, that she'll actually make that her appearance to Raw at the WrestleMania. I thought that was going to be the case, but it totally didn't happen. They went another direction. So I'm like, okay. So she ended up replacing Nikki Bella, and her and Brie was a tag team. So the match was pretty solid and all that too. I think all women had some, offense into it as well. We saw the dominance of Last Legend, as I expect that to happen. The same with Nia Jax as well. So that was good. But the most important thing we saw is how Paige will look after being out of the ring, especially at WWE ring, in quite some time, and she definitely delivered. She never missed a beat, and it was good to see her back competing again. And of course, it was at a point where, I'm on my phone, whatever. It was at a point where it was her and Charlotte in the ring, and she was looking for the Rampage, but Charlotte was able to counter that, put her in a figure eight, and you see Paige get out of it, and then Charlotte hits the natural selection. So it goes to the cover. Of course, Paige kicks out. Then you see her tagging Alexa Bliss, and she's about to go up there, about to hit the Twisted Bliss and all, but Nikki Bella pulls her out of the ring, uses her crutch to take down Charlotte and all, which causes distraction for Alexa Bliss. And when she's about to hit the Twisted Bliss onto Paige, Paige able to get her knees up and picks her up, hits the Rampage onto her, and covers her for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and we have some new women tag team champions. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all right now, I didn't like it. First off, I didn't want to see no fucking Bellas to win any tag team going around their waist. My original pick was Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, because I felt like for Bayley, she should have a moment again. Especially after what happened last year and her being out the equation, because that was when Becky Lynch returned and she ended up tag teaming with Lyra, and they ended up capturing the women's tag team champions, only to drop it literally the next day, on Raw and stuff like that. So I feel like that could have been a moment for both of them. But of course, that didn't happen and all that stuff. And, we ended up getting the Bellas winning. But you know what? I say it's okay, courtesy of a Paige doing the job and all that. I said she should rather be double champion versus the Bellas having any titles on their race. I want to call me hating all you want. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, it shouldn't have been them. So Paige should be a double champion. But we ended up getting that and all that too. And it was good to see Paige back. So we'll see how things goes, as this week progresses, because I'm pretty sure they're going to probably run it back yet again and all that things. But it was dope to see Paige and her getting that reaction and all that too. She had a big pop and all that stuff. They even gave her the pyro too. So that was dope. It was good to see that and very interesting. So there was that. So now we're gonna get to the next match was Seth Rollins versus Gunther, I believe. And with Seth Rollins, it's AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. My bad. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. So Becky come out there. They had a band performing for her and stuff like that, all blue and all. I thought that was dope to see. And you see AJ Lee and her performance. She had a bunch of kids out there who was dressed like her, have the replica of the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So I thought it was pretty cool and all those things. And this match right here, like I said in my prediction video, I could really care less for, because we see them encounter each other so many times and got sick of it, because I knew how the outcome of it was going to be. And it kind of pissed me off the fact that, the match that happened at Elimination Chamber should have happened at WrestleMania, instead of we getting it multiple times, because out of all of those meetings, of course, you saw AJ Lee standing tall. So I was on the firm belief of Becky Lynch running her course with the title, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So the match starts, and it was a little bit of soul place and all that stuff, and it started to pick up. So both women did get some offense and all, and it was very interesting. Both women's hitting. You see AJ Lee trying to hit the manhandle slam onto Becky Lynch and all that stuff, which she was successful with it and all. Even trying to lock in the Black Widow, but Becky Lynch was going to try her best to take advantage of it and get out of it. So that's what ended up happening too. And towards the tail end of it, you see Becky, you know, she was arguing with Jessica Carr, and of course, you know that was gonna play a factor, you know, into this match and all that too. So, in the midst of that, she had exposed one of the ring the turnbuckle pads in the corner, and we knew that was gonna play a focal point into the climax of the match, which actually did. And towards the tail end of it, you see Becky Lynch sends AJ Lee straight to it. And at that point right there, I'm like, oh my God, is this really about to happen? And once it happens, Becky locks in the manhandle slam and covers her for the 1, for the 2, for the 3. And now she is your new women's Intercontinental Champion yet again. And that right there, oh my God. Like, is it worth it? No. Because I feel like now they're going to be playing hot potato with the title. And my true thoughts was AJ Lee retaining, and we won't see Becky for quite some time. Like, she take a little hiatus break, because how many times we saw her competing for the Women's Intercontinental Championship? Let alone when she did have it, look how her run was with the title. It was not the best. Let's keep it real. It was not the best. So I was going off the assumption of, okay, AJ beats her again, and she retains it, and we don't see Becky for quite some time. Let her take a break, and then she returns. But that ended up happening, and Becky Lynch ends up beating her now, and we probably would see them running back, unfortunately, again, probably at Backlash, because AJ Lee might want to get her get back, unless they kind of swerve us, and we do get a call up, the Raw at the WrestleMania, and ended up being Soruka. She challenged Becky for the Women's Continental Championship and beats her and win it. I will be satisfied with that. I'll be satisfied with that. But as of right now, and how things transpired, I was still upset of the finish, and let her know Becky Lynch winning that match. Y'all might have a different opinion about me with that right there, but no. I truly feel like that. And I know people might think, okay, well, the reason why AJ probably didn't win was because, she might not be on a show constantly like that, to the point where the title is just going on hiatus. So, whatever the case is, it ended up happening. Am I a fan of it? No. But we'll see how things turns out. I'm just hoping they didn't lengthy run for Becky Lynch and somebody do dethrone her and all that stuff, because we don't want to see this other title run again. So there was that. So moving on, next, we had the match of Seth Rollins versus Gunther. A 2-week build leading up to their match, man. And they fucking execute, y'all. They executed to perfection. Starting off there, you got Gunther coming out and all that stuff. Then you see Seth Rollins comes out, entrance with fire. Man's had a jacket on. When you see the smoke coming out, so it was dope. And then had all the black eyelids and shit like that. So it was good to see. And instantly, as soon as he get into the ring, Gunther hits him with a power bomb and all that stuff. The bell didn't even ring yet. So they are just sitting there. Chairs is getting involved now. So it's fucking mayhem at this point. So as it's happening too, and we finally got things to calm down, they get into the ring, match starts, and it's just literally blow after blow. They just throwing hands with each other and all that. Gunther with a plethora of slaps to the chest of Seth Rollins too. Seth not giving up in the process. So everything Gunther was throwing at him, whether it was slaps, whether it was power bombs, Seth kept getting up. But you saw Gunther having the fair advantage of this match right now. Him doing his slow, methodical beatdowns. He was definitely in control until Seth Rollins was able to take advantage of it too. He was looking for the curb stomps as well, even with Gunther looking for the sleeper holds. And Seth Rollins been trying his best to get out of it as well. Even when it came to the point where Seth was trying to hit pedigrees too, Gunther capitalizing as well, into roll-ups and to crazy reversals there too. And the match, like I said, it was fast paced, and it became a slow methodical beatdown from Gunther, and then it picked right back up again. So I love the pacing from start to finish. I think it was fantastic from both superstars. And then there's a point where Seth Rollins actually hit the pedigree and all that, and Gunther kicks out of it too. Of course, you see he was trying to lock in the sleeper hole as well, even connected with it. But of course, Seth was able to get out of it, and it was to the point where the Carnage just went outside the ring, and with Gunther, he was trying to hit a power bomb on a Seth Rollins outside of it. It successfully hit him. He hit it on the side of the ring, which looked brutal. And then he picks Rollins up again, stands on the announce table, the table won't break. So as he's doing that, and he gets Seth Rollins up now and got him on the announce table looking to hit another power bomb. But of course, you see Seth takes advantage of it and hits a pedigree onto Gunther. And once it was done, and of course the table didn't break again, Seth looked at that to his advantage and said, you know what? Goes on the another announce table, runs, and hits a curb stomp on the Gunther on the announce table, literally like packing him up. And at this point right now, I'm thinking, okay, this is changed. This is about to be over. And just as he thought he's gaining momentum right now, we see a returning Braun Breaker, who was running full speed ahead from the ring, around the ring, and spears the shit out of Seth Rollins, completely breaking him in half. And once it was done and all that stuff, you know it was pretty much over for Seth. You know, they sent him into the ring and all of that. And, you know, at this point, he's done. Gunther gets up and he gets himself into the ring, locked in the sleeper hole. Seth's trying to fight, but he know that it's over at this point right now. The saxophone started playing loud for him, and he just completely passes out, and Gunther wins by submission. So it was the right call for Gunther to win, and it made more sense now with Braun Breaker being back. So after it was all done, Seth Rollins rolls out the ring, and he is completely finished, but he's looking at Braun Breaker, who was literally at the end of the ramp, at the beginning of the ramp. And Braun Breaker and him is completely locking eyes, and you know Braun Breaker is real pissed off, especially after everything that went down. So he's like, nah, fuck that. Proceeds to run full speed ahead at Seth Rollins yet again and spears him, but this time he haven't fully connected on it. Like he speared his legs, then he did his whole half his body. So it was still crazy to see Braun running that fucking fast and spearing him. So as he's doing that, he's standing tall and shit, and Seth at this point looked defeated. He's done. Man, I spit all over the place right now. So he was completely done. So Braun Breaker walking up to the ramp, he see Paul Heyman as well, and they just hugging each other, embracing him. And Paul Heyman is excited that he's back after everything that went down. So we know where this is going to lead to now, and this is the start of both Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins and their feud kicking off now. Most likely towards the Monday Night Raw at the WrestleMania. That's what we're gonna be getting. So it was dope to see that as well. I think that match was match of the night. They fucking delivered. Both Gunther and Seth Rollins for a 2-week build. This match, chef kiss. Both men delivered. So salute to them, man. That was a dope ass match, man. I enjoyed from start to finish. Next, we had Stephanie Vaquer taking on Liv Morgan for the women's with the women's world championship. And Liv Morgan, she was doing her music video, you know, towards her her entrance, and that shit was horrific. Me in the chat, we was just sick of it. We like, just get in the ring, get it over with, and all that too, because nobody wanted to hear that nonsense. Nobody. So I was already upset with that alone. So just get the shit out the way. So she gets into the ring. Stephanie Vaquer does her entrance, was dope. I enjoyed that as well. And the match was okay. You know, I feel like the person who won it was the right call. So we had both of them going at it as well. You know, Stephanie doing a bunch of headbutts to Liv Morgan, who reversed it, throwing a bunch of right hands to Stephanie as well. So both of them had some good offense into that too. You know, even to the point where when Stephanie even hit the devil's kiss and all that stuff, and looking to actually, I think she successfully hit the Oblivion on the Liv Morgan. Yeah, she definitely did. Even Stephanie, I mean, Liv Morgan was trying to hit the double kiss as well, but got countered. You know, so both women, you know, trading finishes and stuff like that. I think it was dope to see. You knew the numbers game was going to play a part in this. That being Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez being involved. The first time around, you saw that happen right there with Roxanne distracted the ref while Raquel sent Stephanie Vaquer off of the top rope, because she's about to do her finisher off there. And as that was happening, you see Liv Morgan try to take advantage of it, hitting the Oblivion onto to Stephanie, covers her for the 1, the 2, but it was a kick out right there. So I'm like, okay, this is about to pick up now, and it's about to get crazy. So in the midst of that happening, you know, Stephanie takes advantage of it, and she turns her attention on to Roxanne and Raquel. You know, delivering kicks and all that too, even packing them up, like doing a dive outside of the ring. So just knocking them out of the equation. So she's going on celebrating and all, and that's when Liv Morgan takes advantage of it, throws her into the steel steps, brings her into the ring, where she hits her with a move, forgot what it was, that had Stephanie leaning over to the cold breaker, excuse me. She got on the top rope, hits a cold breaker to her. Stephanie ended up leaning onto the ropes, and that set her up for Liv Morgan to hit the Oblivion on her once again and cover her for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and she finally beats Stephanie Vaquer and becomes the new women's world champion, which was the right call, because with Liv Morgan winning the women's Royal Rumble match and making her comeback as well, you didn't want to be a situation where she lost this match to Stephanie and all that, and then her momentum starts to fade away. You know, so this was the right call for them to capitalize on. I'm glad they did, and albeit for Stephanie Vaquer, this was her first loss, you know, on the main roster. And it doesn't put a stain on it whatsoever, but we knew she had to take a loss in due time. And the best moment for that to happen was against Liv Morgan. You know, because I feel like had that did not happen and all, I think her momentum probably would have started getting stale. People wouldn't have liked it, and now they would have been waiting for her to lose. So I'm like, if you want to do this, you do this the right way. And this was when Liv Morgan, for, you know, her opportunity to have go around her waist. So that ended up happening. You know, of course, punk ass Dominic coming out there celebrating her with her and all that shit. Then, you know, the pyro started going off. So yeah, it was that. But I'm pretty sure this is far from over. I think Stephanie is going to get her rematch again, and albeit I think it's going to be at Backlash and all. So we'll see how things turns out. And I do believe we're going to get friction from the Judgment Day too. Like, it's all sunshines and roses right now with Roxanne and Raquel at the point right now, but we know in due time it's bound to be a split up, especially after we Liv, who was looking to hit Oblivion but ended up doing a suicide dive and landed on Raquel Rodriguez. So we're gonna see some tensions going on. So we're gonna see how things turns out. But that was a okay match and all. And before I get into the main event, we had John Cena come out there, and he does his attendance record and stuff like that, letting the fans know and shit. And out of nowhere, we get a returning Bianca Belair, which we haven't seen in a year, chat. And I was shocked. I was hype as hell. I'm gonna post my reaction video on my social media, but I was excited to see that because we didn't see her for so long, and she looked kind of chunky bit. Like, this is a Bianca Belair we haven't seen in quite some time, but I can tell right now her face wasn't that fatter, you know, than what we saw when she was in the match with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. So she gets into the ring, she embracing the content about how much she misses them and stuff like that, and you can tell her hands look healed up. So we all thinking, okay, she's gonna make her return back now. Like, it's been too long and all, and she surprised us all when she said, "I got something I want y'all to reveal." She zips down her coat and reveals she's pregnant and she'll be having a baby. And I'm gonna say right now, that was the most shocking moment right now. Congratulations to you, Bianca Belair, man. Like, that was fantastic to see. I know a lot of fans will probably was upset with the fact that, damn, we wanted to see her and Jade go at each other and all that stuff. Or we thought was gonna happen, you know. But we're not gonna rule that out. There's still time, you know, for that to happen. And looking at her, she probably like 4 months in, pregnant, because she's not gonna have no big belly because she's athletic and all that too. So she probably 3-4 months in. So albeit she can potentially return back at the Royal Rumble next year. So I think it's not going to be that much of an issue between her and Naomi probably coming back at the same time. And there's a story you can still tell with that when they do make their return. But we're not here to talk about that right now. I want to congratulate Bianca Belair. You know, I hope she has a successful pregnancy and stuff as well, healthy delivery, all of those things. You know, very shout out to her and Montez Ford, man. I know they're going to really like be some amazing parents. They already are, as for her being a stepmother to Montez kids and now about to have one of her own. You know, I think she's going to do an amazing job there. So big shout out to them. I'm proud of them as well, man, and I hope everything goes well. And to be honest, right now, we know when she returns back to the ring, it's gonna be like she never left. It's gonna be like she never left. So I can't wait to see that. Shout out to her, man. And all that led to the main event match that I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Chad, we could give 2 flying fucks about. And that is Cody Rhodes taking on Randy Orton. So the promo package was dope as well. And I enjoyed that. I just felt like it could have been better without Pat McAfee. We can all agree on one thing right there and say Pat McAfee was the low point of this shit. So after that, they make their entrance on Pat McAfee punk ass comes out first and all that nobody cared about. Then Randy makes his entrance and stuff. And then after his entrance, here comes Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes' entrance was actually dope, you know, give it his history, you know, from when he first started in WWE right around 2007, 2008, I think. And then you see him from when he started as a rookie to his Dash and Cody Rhodes gimmick to Stardust, to him making a return as the American Nightmare. So I thought that was dope. And they come up with the all gold, everything skull, everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. I feel like every entrance Cody Rhodes have, he always knocks it out the park. You know, that's one thing we can give him credit for. But you heard the boos happening too, just like last year. You know, after Alicia Taylor was making announcing both Randy and Cody. Cody was getting hit with a bereft of boos. So it's like it's just shades of last year. So as the match starts, you see Pat McAfee talking shit as always. I'm already sick of it. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out the ring at this point. Like, just go away. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about you. So after that, the bell rings. He's saying shit again, but as he's saying that, he hits Cody Rhodes with the mic. And now they just started doing a beatdown on the Cody Rhodes. And you see Randy Orton kind of grab Cody and all that and let Pat McAfee take a hit at him. So Cody was able to kick Pat McAfee and all that and, you know, put his attention to Randy Orton, get him out the way. And then Cody turns his attention to Pat McAfee, putting him into the crossroads. So as it was done, he brings him out of the ring and he said, nah, fuck that. I'm going to put him through the announce table. So as he's doing that, you see Jelly Roll pop up. And Jelly Roll was saying, nah, let's put him through an announce table. So you see Cody Rhodes set him up on there. Jelly Roll gets on the second announce table. Mans goes there, stick the middle finger up, and does this crazy dive on a Pat McAfee, packing him up. At this point, we thinking he's done. He's up out of here. You know, that's what Jelly Roll tells him. Like, this is a one-on-one match. Like, now you put your sole attention onto that. So Cody gets into the ring, and like they're stretching out Pat McAfee, but you see Randy still walking around. Now, granted, there was rumors saying that he had like a back injury and all that too. Now, I don't know if this is a work or this is legit, but you see Randy was selling that a whole lot through this matchup. So as they get in there, I say for the past 5 to 6 minutes, Cody was on a complete offense and was dominating the match and literally targeting the back of Randy Orton. So he was definitely doing that. You see Randy also try to take advantage of it as well when he can, either doing a thumb to the eye to Cody and all that stuff, but it was never enough. And when Randy tried to gain some momentum too, and I'm talking outside the ring, you see Cody running him into the ring post, and as he gets back in the ring, we finally had got color for the first time on WrestleMania, and that was courtesy of Randy Orton. And you see Cody just doing multiple rights, to the head of Randy Orton, opening that cut more, and it just became slow, methodical. So the pacing was very slow, and I was looking to pick up more, and it started to at a certain point where, when Cody, when he was trying to hit the Cody cutter, Randy Orton was able to capitalize that as well, even hitting the draping DDT. The draping DDT on Cody Rhodes, and when he about to hit the RKO, the normal way where he'll twist around and start banging on the mat, he couldn't do that. But he said, "Nah, I'm just gonna go down. I'm gonna bang on the mat to set myself up the RKO." So, you see Cody try to capitalize on it as well. Of course, he counters it and all, and they was pretty much going finisher for finisher, because you seen Randy Orton hits the crossroads on the Cody Rhodes and all that. Of course, he kicks out as well. You even see Cody Rhodes has an RKO, a perfect RKO at that, onto Randy Orton as well. So that was dope to see and all that shit. And at this point, the ref was gonna get knocked out. Like, it was just a matter of time. So it came off the point where Cody doing some heel tactics, actually did a thumb to the eye to Randy Orton, who was blinded, and ends up RKOing Charles Robinson out of all people. So he was out of the equation at this point. And as he gets up, Cody Rhodes, he tried to take advantage of a Cody Rhodes, but Cody grabs him, hits him with a low blow, which we did not expect at all to see some type of heel activities from Cody. So as it's happening as well, he goes up there looking for a Cody cutter, but Randy Orton starts to capitalize that with an RKO. And at this point, here comes Pat McAfee, and this man coming here with a ref shirt, with a fucking brace neck and glass on, just haul ass until they something like, oh my god, here we go again. So he goes in there, he covers. He tried to count Randy Orton. Count Cody for the 1, the 2, but Cody kicks out. So now Randy's pissed. And at this point right now, you see him and Pat McAfee, they talking and stuff like that. Had a little chat, and out of nowhere, that shot does. Randy Orton hits Pat McAfee with an RKO. I was hyped for that. I said, finally, get this motherfucker out of here. I'm tired of seeing him and all that stuff. And as it was done, shades of what happened at Elimination Chamber, you see Cody takes advantage of it again. It's the same way how Randy Orton did to Cody. It was vice versa. And Cody hits him with a crossroads and covers him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3. And he retains as the WWE champion. When I tell you how pissed I was for that to happen, I thought it was unnecessary, because of that's not what we was looking for. I think if done correctly, they could have had Cody Rhodes hit Randy Orton with a punt kick, kicking off his heel work and all that too, and maybe this would have been done properly. But the sheer fact that it came off of Randy hitting Pat McAfee with an RKO, and then he getting crossroads for being distracted, and him losing that way, was a piss poor execution. So I hated that a lot. But we see Randy Orton come out of nowhere. Here's Cody Rhodes with the title. And once he's done, Cody's in there. He on his knees and all that, hurting and shit. Randy looked at that, takes advantage to it, goes right into the corner. And listen to them voices again. Man's hit Cody Rhodes with a fucking punt kick and been successful with it. We haven't seen Randy Orton be successful with that punt kick for over 6 years, chat. 6 years. And he executed on it. So that was the saving grace of the main event. Despite that piss poor finish that we had, that was the best part that came out of that. Now, the only thing I could say will make sense and done correctly is that we don't see Cody Rhodes for amount of months. He had to vacate the title because if you know, just like everybody knows, every time when the punt kick is executed successfully, we don't see that specific superstar for a long period of time. That's how you got to sell the maneuver, because that's a dangerous move. So I feel like for all intents and purposes, Cody Rhodes should not be seen on SmackDown for the foreseeable future. Let the title be vacated, and that's when Randy Orton takes advantage of it and captures his 15th World Championship. That's the only way I can see this potentially happening. Because if Cody Rhodes decides to come back 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, this is all for nothing. It's all for nothing. And they're going to give him more nuclear heat than what he had on top of, leading into this match. So, I didn't like the finish of it. I thought it could have been executed way better, but the fact that we get a book into this that was horrific. Wanted to get the shit over with. One Randy Orton to get his 15th World Championship. Only for him to lose in that fashion. And Cody retaining was fucking horrible. Was fucking horrible. I don't know, man. For me, if I say right 91, if I had to give it a rating, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a 7.5, probably an 8 out of 10. And that's off because of the matches of Gunther versus Seth Rollins, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. I enjoyed the 6-man tag team match for what it was. Even the women's 6-man tag team, the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, I enjoyed off the sheer fact of Paige returning. And of course, Bianca Belair making a return, revealing her pregnancy. Those was the good things that came out of night one. But everything else between with Becky Lynch beating AJ Lee, I hated that. And of course, Randy Orton losing to Cody Rhodes. I don't know what to say about that, but I said enough right there. Hopefully night 2 be better as well and actually knocks it out the park, so we'll see how they deliver and all that. But comment down below, let me know, how do y'all feel about night 1 of WrestleMania? What was your favorite moments of the show and all that too? And are you excited for night 2 tomorrow and all that? So I definitely want to know that. Shout out to everybody who was there for me in the stream, kicked it with me, who even watched it on Discord as well. And if y'all want to go and kick in and watch WrestleMania as well, I'll be live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, on Twitch and on YouTube. And, you go in there, just click the link, join the channel and all that too, and you'll be able to watch it, with me and everybody else. So that's how you see it there. But thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Continue to keep God first at the process of anything see, I got tongue twisted, my phone going off. So continue to keep God first at the process of anything that you do in life. Your time will come, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Game over, yeah!